Evening everybody, it is Sunday, maybe the 19th, I'm totally not sure what date we're on. Excuse the state of me, I need to have a shower because I'm trying to see time because my eyes are going 20 to 7 at night and Troy's just had his, Dave's having his and then I'm next, excuse me. For the last 4 weeks, James and his fiancée has been here and it's been wonderful seeing them and we've had such fun and laughs, etc. Now they've gone back home, I'm feeling a bit lonely. I'm not obviously lonely, I've got Dave and that, but you know, just feeling a bit lonely. But it has been one heck of a week last week. So last week James and Hayden had gone in the shower and we could hear this dripping and we thought, we couldn't figure out where it was coming from anyway. And then Dave went in the shower, I don't know which day it was, so I won't say, that afternoon, and I think I went on phone to Kat and I quickly ran into Orway and said, turn the shower off, it's leaking. So we had a big leak in the kitchen and I rang Accent, who we obviously rent his house off, association, and they said if it can be contained, it's not an emergency, blah blah blah. I explained to him that Troy, there's only a wet room there, that's all Troy will use. Anyway, she said they'd get somebody out that day, nobody came. So the next morning, I'm straight back on phone to him. Excuse me, it's not COVID. I'm straight back on the phone to them and I got a lovely person yet again and they says, oh, I'm sorry about yesterday, we'll get somebody out straight away. Anyway, this young lad come, absolutely lovely. And he told Dave to turn the shower on, but he'd already made a hole in a ceiling. And he said, it's not there. So he told Dave to turn the shower on. And miraculously, I don't know how he did it, but he went, it's right, poof, here, and it just went fume. So I told to turn the shower off. Now, with the state of the ceiling board where the shower had leaked, he said that leakage had been there since the company had put it in because of the state of the board. So I'm like, oh, for God's sake. So the poor lad goes out to two shop companies that they use to try and get the fitting for the bottom of the shower, and he couldn't get it. So bless him, he came back and he's temporarily, if I've said that right, fitted the old one back in, which, excuse me, fingers crossed, it's going to hold. Dave's in there now. I keep looking up at the big hole to make sure it don't come through. And it hasn't come through as yet. So I'm hoping that's going to last because they can't come out the 4th of October. And that's to fit that. And then we don't know when they can come out to plasterboard the ceiling back up. Then Scooby, what day is it? I think it was Thursday. I said to Dave, Scooby's not right. He said, what do you mean? I said, I know when my animals aren't right, my babies. I said, he's not right. Now, we knew he had a murmur. I said, but he's sucking in too hard when he's breathing. Now, he was eating okay. I said, I think he needs to see a vet. So I did the online thing and they phoned up. And I said, oh, I think we need to see him. So Dave took him up and he had an ultrasound, which they'd found fluid around his organs. So they gave him an injection to try and release that fluid. And also his heart's gone into heart failure. So I'm there panicking, thinking my dog's going to die any time now. And Dave said, no, they've given 2 lots of medication, 2 lots of medication, which he does have to take for life now, an hour before food. And what were I going to say? I've forgotten yet. I've got brain fog. I have this all the time. And I says, well, you know, how long's he got? He says, well, he should be all right. So with these tablets, they do cause him to drink more, which means he's wee-weeing more. So I have to get up in the morning, and I've put some puppy pads down, but Doobie don't pee on puppy pads, so I have to get up and de-thingy out floor and stuff. And since Thursday, since that injection, and since he's been on these tablets, he's not wanting to eat. He's had very tiny little bits and only a bit per day. So obviously now I'm stressing, because I know my other two babies eat their food and eat quite an amount. And he's just, if you can hear that, by the way, that is Scooby snoring. And I know he's not eating enough, and he's so lethargic. So I'm going to phone the vets back up tomorrow, see whether he needs this medication up in. I have tried him on scrambled egg, chicken, rice, what was it today, mince meat, even cat food, and nah, he's not interested. So he's just moved. I'm quite stressed there that something is not going right, or it could be medication, I don't know, or that this injection hasn't worked right. I don't know what's going on with him, but I still think his breathing's not that good. He's not stressed. I mean, he don't look as if he's in distress, should I say, not stressed. But I can tell by his breathing that he's still not, and there's still, you know, it's going to take time for medicine to hit him. So that's another thing. Then Troy was off Wednesday last week and goes back tomorrow because he had chronic ear pain and was swallowing right hard, and he wouldn't eat and he wouldn't drink. And I rang the doctors up, and they says, well, I got this doctor who he'd seen in August, and I said, well, when we looked in his ears last, all what was there was a bit of wax, and you've been to ENT since, and he's got tinnitus. We know it ain't the tinnitus, that's ringing in the ears, which we've got leaflets to try and do methods with him, you know, to prevent from him hearing the ringing all the time. We've put olive oil in his ears. I don't know, his ears just go bright red and he is absolute agony. So I was a bit mad because the week before, well, 4 weeks actually, to tell the truth, I've not been well. I've had chest infection. They gave me doxycycline. My chest infection didn't go. She then gave me 5 days worth of steroid tablets. That didn't help. Then she put me on amoxicillin for 7 days. And that helped, but by then I'd got a sore throat and earache. And I knew it was not laryngitis, Jesus, tonsillitis. So I phones up on the Friday and I said, I swear I've got tonsillitis. No, it'll just be a viral. Okay. I goes all the way through the weekend in absolute agony, not being able to eat. Do be good, lose some weight, hopefully. So I've had chicken soup and stuff. I couldn't cope by Monday. So I phoned back up and they said, can you send a picture? So I got James to take a picture of my throat and all the spots, or the white spots on the back of my throat. Oh yeah, you've got tonsillitis. I thought, why don't I just become a GP myself, you know, diagnose myself. So she's put me on 10 days worth of penicillin, which I haven't got that obviously many left, I think a week. 10 days worth of penicillin, 2,000 milligram per day. I do feel a lot better now, but I don't know if you can tell that I've still got a croaky voice, and that's been going on for over 5 weeks. And we don't know what's causing that. So I thought, with the swallowing of Troy, is what I'm trying to say is, has he got tonsillitis? Now the thing was, we tried looking at his throat, but he's got ulcer in his mouth. So he won't open his mouth wide enough to look at the back of his throat, because Troy doesn't like sticks in his mouth. That's one thing he won't have. So we couldn't say anything. Anyway, touch wood, he's still got an ulcer, but touch wood, I think his ear pain's calmed down, and he's been wearing a hat which if that's comforting for him, that's fine by me. So that's been a week of hecticness. Now, another thing I wanted to say was, and I'm not slating yet again, well, I suppose I probably am. I've just been watching The Inghams, which I've not watched for quite a few days. I think I watched the Alton Towers one on Isabel's 16th. But I've noticed they've been putting little baby Em in cheap nappies. Little Angels and Aldi. And she has chronic poos and it goes up her, up her vests and stuff and clothes. Now, I'm not saying they can't use them, but even when we were broke, we'd always buy our children Pampers or Huggies. We never got leaks out of Pampers and Huggies. And I'm thinking, well, it's not as if you ain't got the money to go and buy you some decent nappies. Then I've watched the one where Jace has come out in all these blister type things, and apparently Mila's got it on her bottom, and I think, if I remember, Chris said something about it. Now, to me, and only to me, and I'm not a doctor, that doesn't look like foot and mouth disease. That to me looks like chicken pox, because Troy had them, and that's how he went. Now, they don't come out all over your body straight away. But when Troy had chicken pox, we sought advice from a doctor straight away. We sent pictures. I'm going back a fair bit of that. And they said, yeah, it's chicken pox. And he's still got marks, where you itch and you can get scars. He's still got some of them, because we couldn't stop him from itching everywhere. We used calamine lotion and stuff. So I think, obviously not to take him to a doctor, because if it is chicken pox, they don't want to be spreading the infection to other people, but to maybe get hold of a doctor and see if it is chicken pox or foot and mouth. But she said only place had been were Alton Towers. But if there's 3 of them sort of got this rash, then I'd certainly have that checked out, and I certainly would put Mila into Pampers or Huggies and use Pamper or Huggy wipes, or even just cotton wool and water until the bottom is better anyway. Anyway, that's just my opinion. I'm not, I'm not slating them, because I still watch them. But anyway, I just wanted to update everybody on what's been going on. Like I say, I look a total state. My hair needs re-dyeing. And I think I'm going to go, it's tied up, but I don't know whether to go into a bob or not. I'm contemplating. I'm not 100% sure because of my rolls, my chicken rolls or turkey. But anyway, I hope everybody else has been safe and well and keeping safe and well. So take care, guys, and look after yourselves and each other. Bye.